Hi, it's Barry Neal here. I'd like to invite you to my next webinar, which is on the subject of anxiety and panic disorders. And if you haven't noticed, anxiety levels over the last 18 months with COVID have been going up through the roof. And this is really a very important niche to work in, because you're not going to be short of clients. There's some people out there who are really struggling with anxiety and panic disorders. Many people are suffering with panic attacks. And you know what? Counseling, CBT just does not have the answers. Every day I'm talking to clients who've had, 8 weeks, 12 weeks of CBT or 2 years of counseling, and they're still struggling with generalized anxiety disorder. And this is tragic, because with the tools I can teach you, you can help those people in sort of 2, 4, 5 sessions to really take back control of their life and just get rid of the anxiety, stop having panic attacks, and have them live their lives much more effectively and calmly and be in control. So this webinar is going to be about 2 hours long. If you've been to my webinars before, you know they're really fast moving. They're full of useful information that you can use literally with your next client to help them achieve their goals. So this is going to be the same. There's some really powerful tools that you can learn that can take someone who's absolutely distraught with anxiety or struggling with panic attacks and have them change very quickly. And these types of tools are really powerful because they work with how the mind's working and how the body works. This is the problem with CBT and counseling. They try to, it's almost like they're trying to close a stable door after the horse is already bolted. It's too late by the time they get in there trying to change people's thoughts. We need to get in there and make the changes really quickly. So here's just some of what we're going to be covering. We're going to be looking at how you can dissolve traumatic memories. A lot of times people are experiencing anxiety and panic because of things that have happened to them in the past. And they're holding on to this stuff kind of like a pressure cooker. And they've got these terrible images in their mind they just can't get out of their mind. With the techniques I'm going to show you, you can take those images and literally change them in an instant. I had a client really recently who had witnessed something really terrible. About 4 years ago, she'd witnessed one of her friend's husbands who was killed in a car accident. He was run over, and she saw it, and there was blood everywhere, and she just could not get this image out of her mind. She couldn't sleep. Every time she spoke to this person, she was having anxiety and panic because this image kept coming into her mind. She'd had CBT, she'd had counseling, none of it had made a dent in it. I kid you not, within 5 minutes, I'd taken away that memory, and she could not think of it in the same way. And what happened was, she was then able to think of her friend's husband and remember the good times, remember all the happy times with him. So it's really easy to change some of these traumatic memories very quickly with some of the tools you're going to learn. The next thing we're going to look at is we're going to change the feelings. You know, sometimes we need to just get straight in there and go straight to the body and change the feeling straight away. And when we do that, change can happen really quickly. We get in there, find out what they're feeling, where they're feeling it, change it, and it's just so transformative. So sometimes we don't need to go in and discuss, oh, what happened to you when you were 5? No, we just get in there, change the feeling, and they get on with their lives. So we can learn how to change the feelings. The other thing that we're going to look at, which is really important when it comes to anxiety disorders, is changing their entire internal dialogue. I don't know if you thought about it before. There's only 2 real ways you can do anxiety. One is to picture all the crap in your life and everything turning out badly. The other one is to talk to yourself really quickly. In fact, really the only way you can do anxiety is to really talk to yourself very quickly and catastrophize everything. So the internal dialogue often is the driver for the anxiety. You're going to learn a couple of techniques in which you can change that internal dialogue and slow it down. And even though they might say the same things, it will not trigger the anxiety. So you're going to learn how to do that quickly and easily and effectively. Because for something like anxiety, if you just change one thing, well, you've got the risk of it coming back. But we're going to be changing the memories, the traumatic memories. We're going to be changing the feelings. We're also going to be changing the internal dialogue. So we're going to go right in there and really make powerful changes. The other thing we're going to learn is how to stop panic attacks. Panic attacks are really easy to stop. But here's what you don't do. And this is what everyone tells their clients to do. And if you do this, you're going to make it worse. You don't tell them to take deep breaths. If you tell them to take deep breaths, you're going to make the situation worse, and it's going to just prolong their having panic attacks. So we want to interrupt that pattern, and we're going to stop that. I'm going to show you easily how you can stop panic attacks from happening when they're happening, and also how to get rid of them in the future. So it's a really, really important thing to learn. We want to neutralize any triggers. Because it's all very well doing this in the environment, in your therapy environment or on Zoom or whatever. But when they go out in the real world, there's going to be triggers out there that could trigger them into feeling bad. We need to inoculate those. We need to neutralize those triggers so that when they go out there, those triggers are still going to be there, but it's going to trigger feelings of calmness or confidence or excitement, whatever, but it's not going to trigger the anxiety. So we need to neutralize all those triggers. If we add them together, then we've got a really powerful package that we can help people with so that they no longer suffer with anxiety. So we're going to be covering this in this webinar. It's going to be about 2 hours long. You're going to get a manual with all the techniques in it, and you're going to get email support from me. So if you have any questions after the event, you can just email me and I'll be happy to answer them and share my experiences with you. During the webinar, there'll be plenty of time for questions. It's not just me like as a talking head lecturing to you. If you've been to one of my webinars before, I get everybody up so we can see everybody, so we can get a sense of what's going on, and you've got plenty of time for questions so that you can learn how to use this stuff. And there's not going to be a script in sight, so if you're used to using scripts for anxiety, you're going to be quite surprised because there's no scripts at all. You're going to learn how to work with the actual problem and be able to create change with that individual client in front of you, not by some sort of script. So this is going to be a really powerful 2-hour webinar, and you're going to learn exactly what you need to do to use these techniques with your next clients, because this is a real need. There's a real need for effective therapists who can work with anxiety and panic disorders right now. It's huge. So let's get out there and help people. So if you want to sign up now, there'll be a link in the description below. Have a look in that. But please sign up. Like most of my webinars, they do sell out very, very quickly. So if you're thinking about it, just sign up. It will be recorded. So if you can't make it on the day, you can get the replay and the manual and all the questions via email. So I hope to see you on the webinar. If not, I hope to see you on the replay, and I hope to see you soon.